All right, so what we have here is a Euhomy countertop ice maker. Ours gets dirty, and we haven't figured out how to clean it yet other than trying to use an arm to get in there. So there's a little plug right here you use to drain it. And so I've drained all the water out of it. It's unplugged. And so we're going to try to take this thing apart and just see where it goes. It looks like there's a series of screws that hold this aluminum casing on. I think we'll try to take those off first and kind of go from there. So my hope is that if we take the case off, the whole plastic top and everything will come with, and I should be able to access the areas we need to get cleaned. That's the hope. Whether or not that's a fact or not, I do not know. I do know this thing is a pain in the butt to clean otherwise, so there's got to be a better way. And I did not find a video about this. One other thing that's kind of funny is I thought this thing was blue, but actually it's just plastic on top of the stainless steel. And guess what? I'm leaving it. I am leaving it. Because why not? See how you are. Screw feels like it's sort of stripped on the inside on whatever I'm trying to unscrew it off of, so we'll just move on here. The rest of them all seem to be backing out normally, but that one's not. This one here. I think what we'll do is take one of these small flat heads and sort of counter traction that thing so that it'll come out. Like so. See that? Maybe you can't see that. Anyway, I used the flathead screwdriver to get up underneath the screw head and lift it a bit. That seemed to help. All right, so question is how this all comes apart here. Does it all just kind of lift out? Do these things fan out? How does it go? All right, there we go. There's part of it. Okay, so we got some more small screws in the back here. These are smaller ones, so we're gonna have to step down here. Oh, you know what? I don't think they're attached. Actually, they're just attached back here. That thing doesn't need to come off. All right. That's how that comes off. See if this front comes the same way. Perhaps it does, perhaps it does not. Feels like it's kind of glued. I think those feet fit into anything. wonder if there's some bigger screws here that may hold this top on. So we're going to take those out and see if this top will come off. Well, it's feeling good. Feeling like that might be the case. Victory is mine. So, you can see here, this is the area where it gets dirty. You see this grime in here? And so we are going to do what we can to get in here now with this top over and should be able to get this whole thing cleaned out without too much trouble. So I will do that and then start back on this thing. You can see that we better clean this off first too. This is just the inside of where the ice tray is, and that's that same hard water stuff. We live in West Virginia where the water's quite hard. Hard water deposits, so again, white vinegar. All right, let's get this thing back together. Tell you what, I'll put my screws over on this side so you can see what I'm doing a little better. Basket's all cleaned out. This is that little drain cover that goes in the bottom. Well, it's not a drain actually. This is where it the water goes and then it gets pumped up into the ice tray. Again, there's only four screws to hold this lid on. I reckon we're going to have to get those lined up somehow or the other here. Let's see. Do that. Reminder, this is all the idiot farmers, so shenanigans are likely to happen here. Silliness, goofiness. One thing I did check is that the fins are clear of clear of debris, which in our house would be dust, something of that nature. All right. I think with these plastic screws, you're better off just taking them to just where they're snug. I think tightening stuff down real tight is probably not very smart when dealing with plastic that originates outside the U.S. Or plastic that originates inside the U.S. So I think that the lid screws are just a bit shorter than the rest of them. Maybe a millimeter shorter. All right. See if we can get this back on. So this sort of does like this and goes underneath the edge here. So the trick is, and it goes up underneath the front edge. The trick is probably turning it like this, getting all those lined up and sort of sliding it up underneath this cover. right. It is approximated. The first thing I'm going to do is get these ones in the back out, because this is the side that the back here kind of wants to bow out a little bit. The sides seem okay. So we'll get one here, and we'll get one at both front edges so that it's got an overlapping lip here. We don't want that to come loose. We have 4 screws to the front. I did not disassemble the front. I think I could have, but it felt like there might be a little, I don't know, glue or something like that holding that in place, so I decided not to screw with it because there's really nothing to clean up there. I probably, if I looked around in there in the bottom, could have found the filler tube and cleaned that out, but if you're doing routine maintenance with these things with vinegar, it probably will be getting relatively clean during that process. Unfortunately, routine cleaning with vinegar did not stop this thing from getting all that hard water, and honestly I think it's dust that was up in there. Dust up in the ice. So, all right. That off center screw there. Add in there. So you don't need to remove these front screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. These 5 screws here don't need removed for this. Just 6. The 6 back ones, and then there's 2 that hold the top on up underneath. Now here's that one that I had to remove with a screwdriver. I can tell. That hole's a little wonky. Who's cleaning it? You, homie. You're cleaning it. That's a Euhomy model IM-01.